Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell because we're diving into one of the most anticipated political events of the year. Today, we are talking about President Donald Trump's upcoming State of the Union address. His first thoughts of 2026 and a speech that political analysts are calling potentially one of the most consequential addresses in modern American history. So grab your coffee, settle in, and let's break down what we know, what we can expect, and why this speech could reshape the entire political landscape for years to come. First, let's set the stage. Donald Trump returned to the White House in January 2025 after defeating Kamala Harris in the 2024 presidential election. This makes him only the second president in American history to serve non-consecutive terms. The first being Grover Cleveland back in the 1890s. Trump's first year back in office has been nothing short of eventful. From day one, his administration has been pushing an ambitious agenda that his supporters call transformative and his critics call controversial. But regardless of where you stand politically, there's no denying that Trump's return has dominated the news cycle. Now, for those unfamiliar with the State of the Union tradition, it's an annual address where the president speaks to a joint session of Congress. That means both the House of Representatives and the Senate together in one room. The speech serves multiple purposes. It's a constitutional requirement, a chance to outline legislative priorities, a moment to address the American people directly, and frankly, it's political theater at its finest. The State of the Union has historically been a platform for presidents to rally support, announce new initiatives, and frame the national conversation. Think of FDR's Four Freedoms speech, or George W. Bush's post-9/11 addresses, or Barack Obama's calls for healthcare reform. Trump's 2026 State of the Union comes at a crucial moment. We're entering the second year of his second term, which means the 2026 midterm elections are looming on the horizon. Every word in this speech will be scrutinized, not just for policy substance, but for its political implications. So what can we actually expect from this address? Based on statements from White House officials, Trump's recent speeches, and insider reports, several major themes are likely to dominate. First and foremost, the economy. Trump has always positioned himself as the economic president, and you can bet he'll be highlighting what his administration views as successes. Expect to hear about job numbers, GDP growth, stock market performance, and any improvements in inflation rates. Sources close to the administration suggest Trump will unveil new economic proposals aimed at what he calls the forgotten American worker. This could include tax policy changes, infrastructure initiatives, or new approaches to manufacturing and trade. Trump has consistently emphasized bringing jobs back to America and reducing dependence on foreign supply chains. So watch for concrete proposals in these areas. Second, immigration and border security. This has been a cornerstone of Trump's political brand since he first ascended that golden escalator in 2015. His administration has already taken significant action on border policy in year one, but the State of the Union will likely feature a comprehensive vision for immigration reform. Political insiders suggest Trump may use this platform to call on Congress to pass legislation that his administration has been pushing. This could be controversial. Immigration remains one of the most divisive issues in American politics, but Trump has never shied away from controversy. Third, foreign policy under the America First doctrine. Trump's approach to international relations has always been distinctive, emphasizing national sovereignty, renegotiating international agreements, and what he describes as making allies pay their fair share. We might hear about relationships with China, Russia, and European allies. There could be announcements about trade agreements, military deployments, or diplomatic initiatives. Some analysts speculate Trump might address emerging global challenges, everything from international competition to energy independence. Beyond these major pillars, expect Trump to touch on a range of domestic issues: energy policy, healthcare, education, crime and public safety, and potentially Supreme Court nominations, if any vacancies are anticipated. One area getting particular attention from political observers is what Trump might say about government reform. His administration has talked about reducing federal bureaucracy, and the State of the Union could be where he lays out a comprehensive vision for restructuring how Washington works. Now let's talk about why this speech matters so much politically. The 2026 midterm elections are just months away. Historically, the party in the White House tends to lose seats in Congress during midterms. It's a pattern that's held true for decades. But Trump defies conventional political wisdom, and he knows this speech is a chance to energize his base and potentially persuade swing voters. For Republicans in Congress, this speech is crucial. They'll be watching to see what Trump prioritizes, because those priorities will likely shape their own campaign messages. Vulnerable Republicans in competitive districts will be particularly attentive. They need to know what they're defending and what they're running on. For Democrats, this is an opportunity to draw contrasts. Watch for the Democratic response to the State of the Union. It's become a tradition for the opposing party to deliver a rebuttal immediately after the president's speech. Who Democrats choose to deliver that response will tell us a lot about their strategy and potentially their 2028 presidential ambitions. The optics matter too. Remember those viral moments from past State of the Union addresses? Nancy Pelosi's clapping, Joe Wilson's "You lie" outburst, the reaction shots of Supreme Court justices. These moments become part of political lore, and in our social media age, they can define how millions of Americans remember the speech. What makes Trump's 2026 State of the Union particularly unique is the historical context. We're talking about a president who has already served a full term, left office, stayed in the political arena during his absence, and then returned to power. That's unprecedented in modern American politics. Trump brings a different perspective than a typical second-term president. He's experienced being out of power. He's watched his successor's administration, and he's had time to refine his vision. This isn't your typical incumbent's midterm address. It's something entirely different. The media environment has also changed dramatically. The rise of social media, the fragmentation of news sources, the increasing polarization of American political discourse, all of this means Trump's speech will be received, interpreted, and debated in ways that would have been impossible even a decade ago. Trump himself is a master of media manipulation. And I say that descriptively, not necessarily critically. He understands how to create moments that dominate news cycles. Expect this speech to have carefully crafted sound bites, memorable phrases, and moments designed to go viral. Some political observers have noted that Trump may use this address to begin defining his legacy. While he has another 2 years in office after the speech, second-term presidents often start thinking about how history will remember them. Will Trump use this platform to cement his place in American political history? It's certainly possible. So what happens after the speech? Well, the real work begins. Presidential speeches are one thing, legislative action is another entirely. Trump will outline his agenda, but Congress has to actually pass laws in our current political environment, where polarization is intense and margins in Congress can be slim. Turning speech proposals into actual legislation is a massive challenge. Watch for how quickly the administration moves on the priorities Trump announces. Are their bills already drafted and ready to introduce? Have they been negotiating with key lawmakers behind the scenes? The speed and coordination of the follow-up will tell us how serious the White House is about each proposal. Also, pay attention to Trump's activities after the speech. Will he hit the road for a series of rallies to build public support? Will he focus on arm twisting in Congress? How he spends his political capital in the weeks following the State of the Union will be just as important as the speech itself. And of course, there's the opposition response. How effectively do Democrats counter-message? Can they offer a competing vision that resonates with voters? The political battle doesn't end with Trump's speech. In many ways, it's just beginning. So there you have it. Everything you need to know about Trump's upcoming 2026 State of the Union address. Whether you're a supporter, a critic, or somewhere in between, this is unmistakably a significant moment in American political history. This speech could set the agenda not just for the remainder of Trump's presidency, but potentially for American politics for years to come. The policies he proposes, the vision he articulates, and the political battle that follows will shape the 2026 midterms and beyond. I want to hear from you in the comments. What do you think Trump should prioritize in this speech? What are you hoping to hear? What concerns do you have? Let's have a respectful conversation down below. Remember, we can disagree without being disagreeable. If you found this breakdown helpful, please give this video a thumbs up. It really helps the algorithm and lets me know you want more content like this. And if you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. I'll be covering the actual State of the Union address when it happens, providing real-time analysis and breaking down all the key moments. So definitely stay tuned for that. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.